The board voted to propose a settlement in a lawsuit against them regarding unmailed ballots. Those ballots for a special election for their half-cent sales tax in 2023. 13 News reporter Sean Mahoney joining us live in studio for more on what that settlement entails.
And Sean, what does this mean for the sales tax currently in place?
Well, Mary, if a judge approves the settlement in this lawsuit, it would freeze the half-cent sales tax, which was approved to help build a new jail. Now, it would also set up a new election for a jail district sales tax, which is what the tax is called, for this coming November. Now, the big question is, what happens to the money they already raised from this tax? I talked with the chair of the board to break down what happens from here.
I think it's pretty clear that the original election that was conducted in May of 23 wasn't done properly.
That was the feeling of the Cochise County Board of Supervisors and the courts, which led to this settlement. The 2023 special election on the jail district sales tax was a mail-in only ballot. And according to the courts, nearly 10,000 inactive voters did not receive ballots when they were supposed to. Over 700 of those voted in the general election this past November, which was around the same margin the tax was passed by.
It's a lesson learned, right? I don't believe it was deliberate. It was just a unique scenario where there was a statute that wasn't very clear with regard to mailing ballots to inactive voters.
The tax has raised around $18 million to date, and if the settlement is approved and the tax is suspended, the next task for the board would be to decide what happens to that money.
We can ask the voters to put that current amount of money that's been raised so far, which is roughly around $18 million, towards the construction of the jail.
Antonori says the money would stay untouched until a decision is reached, and says with this mix-up in the last election, he feels it's only right to leave it to the voters.
We want to ensure that the voters also give direction that that funding is directed towards the jail. And I think everybody wants that.
Antonori says he hopes that will be the decision of the board to add that along with a revote of the jail district sales tax measure to a special November election this year, when he says they'll make sure is run correctly.
We're going to do it the right way in November, and we will have both the mail-in ballot for those that would like to vote by mail, and we will also have polling places open, vote centers open for people to vote in person.
Now, the next step in this process is an appellate court hearing Wednesday to decide when a ruling will be made on whether to accept the settlement or move forward with the current case to determine if the error affected the outcome of the vote back in 2023. Now, if the settlement is approved, the Board of Supervisors will have to agree to send it back to the voters. That is the decision on what to do with the money, as well as the special election on this measure, with a suspension of the tax probably not taking place until likely June. Reporting live in studio, Sean Mahoney, 13 News.